What's going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning to this episode of Right on Cue Podcast. As always, I'm your host, Logan Chestnut, Small Batch Barbecue. Blech. Joining me tonight is my Alabama boys, AJ Johnson and Justin Turner of the Norella Barbecue team. Ladies, how we doing today, man?
What up? Good. What up?
Dude, does it get any bigger than this? I mean, it's my birthday week, you know? I mean, it's the biggest thing of the year. I mean, you know, not to mention Justin having a baby in, 2 days. I mean, who cares about that? You know,
hashtag girl dad.
I mean, yeah. What? Gonna start his little sorority off. Man, Justin, how are you feeling, buddy? Honestly, man, you got the nursery done. You got all the stuff ready to go.
Yes, but scared to death.
Oh, dude, I promise you, everybody, dude. AJ, you were scared to death too, weren't you?
Scared, man. Justin, you would do great, man.
You're gonna do awesome, man. Dude, honestly, like, don't listen to anybody's advice or anything. That the thing you have to remember is just keep it alive. You know,
and always remember when you're gonna mess up.
Love it, keep it alive. Other than that, just wing it, man. No one knows what the hell they're doing.
That's right. When you're gonna mess up, brother. When you're gonna mess up, you're gonna mess up and just learn from your mistakes.
Hell. Your first one's going to mess up so bad. And the second one you're going to mess up, just don't care as much. You're like, yeah, it don't have to be organic food. Lick the socket, it'll learn.
Yeah.
That's what my mom did. You know, that's how I turned out the way I am. You know, my mom first, my brother's like, oh, yeah, you know, it's all nice. And I come along, I was like, oh, lick the socket. You know, hence why I look like I do. Now I make grilled cheeses at night. No, man, it's a big week, dude. So you got Super Bowl coming up. Justin, you're muted, buddy. Super Bowl coming up. Baby daddy gonna be happening. Bringing a new team member to Team Norella.
That's right.
Maybe this will
look pitmaster.
That's right, man. Little baby pitmaster, man. You'll be doing kids cues in no time, man.
That's right.
Oh, Lord.
Man, speaking of Super Bowl, who y'all pulling for? Who we going for, man?
Niners.
Man, I'm going to go with the Chiefs, man. I'm going to go with the Chiefs.
I know. I got to go Chiefs, man. I got to go Chiefs. My old mother-in-law is from Kansas City, and all her family's from Kansas City. And my daughter, she's cheering for Taylor Swift. And my wife, she won't admit it, but she is. Big Tay-Tay fan. Tay-Tay for life. My daughter's like, Daddy, I saw Taylor Swift come to Nashville. Can we go to the concert? I'm like, honey, do you want to go to college or you want to go to the concert? Because
that thing was high.
Holy crap. That's like I like to make my mortgage payment this month, but you know, I'll buy you the album or whatever you buy now.
When it came down to that, you know, I go with when I ain't got no dog or skin in the game. I go to who on the team is my most favorite player out of both teams.
Sure.
For me, it's Trent Williams, probably the greatest offensive lineman of all time, or up there at least. He plays for the Niners, so Niners. I like Patty. I like Patrick. I like Kelsey. So I mean, it wouldn't hurt me either way.
Now I like Brock. I like his story. It's a good story. But you know who is a big Kansas City fan? Our guest tonight, Big Moe Cason. Justin, I mean, you're gonna like upset your mentor, you know, the guy you look up to in barbecue, and you're gonna say you cheer for the Niners.
Hey, It is what it is.
Keep it real, right?
That's keep it real. Man. We are kicking off Black History Month this month here at Right on Cue Podcast. We want to celebrate the Black Pitmasters of America and acknowledge all their contributions. And there's nobody better that I can think of corn-fed, Iowa-bred Big Moe Cason. Let's bring him to the stage, everybody. Big Moe, what's up, man?
What's up, Logan?
Can you believe this, man? Like, you are a guest of honor for my birthday episode, and this guy's talking noise about the Chiefs?
That's all good, man. To each his own, man.
Somebody got to for losers, right?
It's called Teddy Roosevelt. Walk silently and carry a big stick.
That's right. I got a really big stick with that Patrick Mahomes arm, man. I swear, like, That dude's made of Vaseline. He never gets caught in a sticky situation, dude. He just slide out. It makes me so mad. It reminds me of like Tom Brady back in the day. He's like, oh, he's gonna go down, and then he throws like a 60-yard Hail Mary.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the weekend. I'm gonna get some people together. We're gonna do a little Super Bowl party. I'm gonna cook some barbecue, some brisket, some
Of
ribs, some pulled
course.
pork, some turkey, some chicken wings, some of my sides, and one of the old school bars that I hung out with off and on when I was growing up and when I was of age. And
How about before you were
same
of age?
old, yeah, and the guys that own it, they're big Mopar guys. So like I'm a big Mopar fan, and so it's like his son's got an A12 Mopar, Super B, and his dad's got a bunch of kudos and like that. So we've been friends for a long time, and I was just there actually today. Had a beer, and I just said, you know what? Let's do a little Super Bowl party, and I'll bring the pit out, and we'll cook some barbecue, and have people enjoy it and watch the game, watch the Chiefs. Yes.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely, man. Win this thing. No, man. It's that's you though, man. You like helping out the small guys, man. Like you said, that's your buddy. You're gonna help him out, for the bar and coming on my lovely show. I mean, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate you taking care of your friends, man. I really do.
That's it, man. When you're my friend, you're my friend.
That's right, brother.
You know what I'm
man. That's right. We killed deer, man. That's right. It's family. No. Speaking of deer killing, man, you've been on a tear this year, man. You've been all over the country with Indiana, Wisconsin,
Kentucky,
Iowa, Kentucky. I mean, Kentucky's the best, I know. And then Mississippi. I forgot Mississippi. I forgot.
Yeah, I saw some. Yeah, so it's like, not to get somber about it. I lost my wife in November of last year, and and I just told myself after I went through that ordeal, I said, I'm gonna live I've always lived my life. I've always been a happy, thankful, humble dude. But even more so from here on out, I just really gonna do the things that I really want to do. And one of the things I like doing is I like fishing and I like hunting. And I like cars, old school muscle cars. And cigars and guns and blah 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 blah. But I'm going to do a lot more hunting, especially from here on out.
Yeah, man.
And I just, Buddy Logan's got a nice little spot up there in Kentucky. Beautiful, man. I had a great time. First time being there, me and Bobby. And I look forward. I look forward to coming back. I can't wait for this year. I can't wait to get out there. I mean, I'm looking forward to getting out there and really doing as much hunting as I can. I want to go to Africa this year. I got that on the docket to be able to go and get a few animals over there. And I'm gonna live my life, man, and enjoy the things that I like to do.
As you should, man. As you should. You're going to build like as many trophies you're going to have to build like a trophy room in addition to the house, man.
Well, that's the problem I have because I have an old house. The house was 1896, so I don't have a lot of crazy wall space, So
yeah,
I have to be very selective of what I hang up, which I will. But I'll make it happen. It's gonna be all right.
Oh, no doubt, man. No doubt, dude. I've seen what you've taken down this year so far, man. There's some nice ones right there, but I can only imagine what you're gonna take down in Africa.
Yeah, you know what? I can't do the big animals. Like I really like to get a kudu, but I just can't. I don't have the wall space for that.
Right.
If I got a full bull kudu, its nostrils will be down by the registers on the floor. You know what I mean?
I'd be okay with that in my house.
I know, but I don't have local chestnut, wall space.
Shoot.
don't even front, dude, because I've been at your parents' place.
Oh, stop it, Mo. Stop it, man.
I'm just telling you, keeping it real, man.
Man, I want to see a Moe Cason hunting show. That's what I want to do, man. We got to set that up, buddy.
Yeah, we need to do a hunt cook type show, man. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, man. Yeah, absolutely, man. You do like the boys down in Kentucky did the Herald Night. They had all those hunting shows, man. That should be the Moe Cason show, man. I would watch that. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, you never know.
That's right, man. Kill them, baby. Cook them. I can see it now. Kill them and cook them with Moe Cason.
That's right. That's right. Kill them and cook them. You damn right.
No, man. But I keep forgetting every time we start talking stuff. I always forget it's a barbecue show. But Mo, I think all of our viewers, like I said, they love you. It's funny. So I'm a member of this bigger, pretty large barbecue, forum or whatever on Facebook. And I put up there just as kind of a questionnaire. I was like, if you could interview anybody in the barbecue world, who would you interview? And I'm not kidding you. I think I had like 200 responses. About half of them all said Moe Cason as one of their answers, man. That I felt a little proud, man. I was like, I know that guy, man. He is solid, and I understand why they like him, man. Your personality and everybody feels like you're one of those guys that he can relate to. And
yeah, I'm just down to earth, man. That's how I was raised. That's how I'm built, man. You don't have to worry about me putting on a facade or fakeness in order to get clicks. That's not me, man.
I like it, man. Mo don't like you, he'll let you know, and I respect that, man. I wish more people were like that, man. I hate the fakers, but yep. Mo, in your story of barbecue. So I mean, I'm sure you said it 1,000 times. So I'm not gonna have you go through the nitty gritty, but so walk me through like your origin stories. Like, so you're Navy guy like my dad, and I appreciate your service. Then you move on there, you get discharged, and then you went to the water treatment, right? And what city was
back home? Back home in Des Moines, Iowa, where I'm from, and got on the water treatment job. Got a water treatment job, and I did that in steam boilers in the Navy. So it's like, I had all the skills already to do it, and then got on the water treatment plant back in 1990, in the 93 and in the 94. I gotta remember that, but yeah, that's when I was 94.
94.
It's 94, and spring of 94 is when I got on the water treatment plant. Did 24 years, 11 to 7. Ended up having 4 beautiful daughters and my wife, and just do things. But I loved barbecuing and grilling. And when I got out of the Navy, one of the first things I bought was a little small grill smoker. And I just got back to doing, what I did on my back deck. And then I started seeing barbecue shows, which intrigued me because I never knew there was anything like that until I saw them. And I said, you know what, I'd love to do something like that. And I end up, getting my money together and doing that and buying my first smoker, my real smoker and trailer. And I did that, and the rest is history, man. I just did my first cook-off in 2006, and I was hooked. I was hooked at the ambiance, the prestige of going out, because it was just an all new thing for me. Going to barbecue cook-offs and cooking and meeting all these different characters and people and looking at all these different pits and techniques and stuff that I'm observing. And I said, this is where I need to be. And I just start cooking because, I'm a confident man. I'm not an arrogant man, but I'm confident. So I knew I wanted to refine my craft, and I want to get out there and I cooked and I cooked and I cooked and I cooked, and I still cook, and constantly evolving, constantly bettering my cue. And I've learned so much being a self-taught cook over the years, man. Just learning, cooking in my backyard and cooking at cook-offs and stuff, and just learning and just observing things. And I've seen a lot of things over the years, but I'm really thankful for me putting 100% in this barbecue, and now the 100% is coming back to me through barbecue.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Boomerang right there, man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think all of us on the show have the similar story. I mean, hell, some of us saw you on TV, and it got inspired to start this journey. I mean, we're like when I played college ball, and I was real athletic and super competitive, and I loved the beauty of shit talking. And whenever I lost, what I could do to compete, I suck at golf. So whenever you get older, it seems like around here either you golf or you do. I don't know what else you do. But I was like, I saw a competition barbecue. I'm like, I like to eat. And I own a pellet grill. I know what I'm doing in barbecue, and I didn't. But I quickly learned that, and it led me to my obsession to where I am today. But talking about barbecue, how it affected you, and how you kind of were enthralled by it. Like all of us are. Like, has it always played a big part in your life, like in your family growing up? Did you grow up in like a food family, or
later? My grandmother had 17 kids, so we were a tight knit squad. You know, we had a lot of cousins, aunts, and uncles, obviously, and so everybody has jobs, everybody doing their thing. But then when it came to like holidays, like July 4th, Memorial Day, Labor Day, those things were special. We got together at one of the family's houses, or we went to a park, a state park or a city park, and we would go and we would have a get together. And being that I have such a large family, that it would be a ton of folks. You know, when I have the Cason Family Reunion, which travels throughout multiple states every year, we have hundreds of Casons, hundreds. And that just shows the love we have for each other, our family, the Cason squad. And so I've always remembered that. That's always been a positive moment or experience for me, is seeing my family and cousins. Maybe we only see once a year. Maybe I see multiple times a year, but we all get together and we cook and we grill, and uncles are playing dominoes, drinking that VO or that Canadian Club, and they're all sitting there talking smack. So those are always been positive memories for me. You know what I mean? It's family. That's what it gets down to. It's all about family, no matter how you do it. You know what I mean? It's all about family. And my grandmother, man, she was a cold piece, man. I mean, she was matriarch, if I'm saying that right. And she,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, she was. Everybody knew Margaret Cason. She was no joke. She was so cool. She loved her kids. She loved her grandkids. She had so much wisdom. Obviously, having 17 kids and coming up, the way she came up, I mean, she was just a smart, smart woman, and she had a lot of wisdom. And she just be sitting there at the park and she just start talking, man. And and everything she talked about was spot on. Even though I may not known, but
Right.
when she talked, it was just straight knowledge. And so she and my mom were the ones that really, that's where my passion of cooking came from, because my mom was more hard nosed, and just like my grandma, she was hard nosed to a certain point. You know what I mean? But it was all about taking care of business. Okay, my grandma had 17 kids. She went all about trying to the kumbaya, and you do
Right, man.
what you're told. And my
That's
mom
right.
was the same
17
way.
kids, you
You do
got
what
to.
you're told. And so, but when they cooked, everything was from scratch. Especially my grandmother, everything was from scratch. And so she watched my sister and I a lot, because my mom worked two jobs. She was a seamstress. So she'd get up 3 or 4 in the morning, go to work, and she wouldn't be back until early evening. And she'd come, and so we would go down to my grandmother's house, which was about 4 blocks away, and she would watch us until my mom got home to come get us, until we got old enough where we could walk home to school and go walk to school and come home from school. So I mean, I was around, some great food,
Right.
and I never forget that, man. And so the sense of taste, even though if I may try some new dishes I've never heard of, I think I have a good sense of taste and texture.
Right. Right.
That's just one of those things, and it's something that you develop too. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
man.
So when I eat something, even with all my 4 girls, they're foodies too. So they'll break something down. We could be sitting at a dinner at a restaurant, and they can eat, and they'll immediately start chiming or thinking, or I ask them, what do you think? And they'll give me their opinion. They'll give me their opinion. I got a 14-year-old, I got a 16-year-old, I got a 20-year-old, I got 27, 28-year-old. And all these girls have a good sense of taste. And my two oldest ones are great cooks. And they cook all kinds of stuff. They'll cook a lot of Asian dishes and stuff. And they have a good understanding of cooking food, which makes me proud, and my wife, I mean, she rests in peace, her proud, because we know how to cook, and we don't cook we don't know everything, but whenever we cook, we're gonna put our foot in it.
That's right, man. That's right. No, man, I
Yeah.
was blessed. I was blessed enough to meet your two daughters whenever I had you and Bob down for the Bob and Moe barbecue show at the restaurant a couple of years ago, and I could definitely tell, man. Like you said, man, everybody has a passion for food, and we had a good time, and that's cool, man. That's really that's something.
Yep.
Yeah. So seeing you on Barbecue Pitmasters is kind of really what made me decide I wanted to get into cooking. And your personality just lit up the screen, and I was a fan from the very first moment back in the Ponderosa barbecue days.
Yeah.
So can you tell me a little bit about your experience on the show?
Yeah. So I first got the opportunity in 2010. Actually, I was at a cook-off in Arkansas, and I was walking back from a cook's meeting, and happened to be where Johnny Trigg was walking next to me, and we were walking back to our areas, and they already had season one pit masters. Now I heard a little bit about it, but still didn't know much about it. But it was that one where Myron, Harry Sue, Leanne Whippen, Myron, them guys, and they went out and they went to different cook-offs. So that was the concept of the show, but I didn't really know much about it. I really didn't. And I remember Johnny Trigg, he was walking right next to me. And by then I've been doing some cook-offs, from 2006, 2010, I started to start doing cook-offs. So I'm kind of known from like Johnny. Them guys, they knew who I was. I mean, I wasn't like slaying it or killing like nobody, like them guys were doing, but I was making my mark. And I remember Johnny was like, "Hey man, you gonna put in for season 2 Pitmasters?" And I flat out told him, I said, "Dude, I don't know nobody like that. I'm not," because I always thought everything's connected. You got to know somebody, blah, 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 and that's how it is really. But, you still got to be able to. He goes, "No, man." He said, "Mo," he said, "you really need to put in." And as we were walking, and I was like, "Man, Johnny, I'm not connected like that, dude. I ain't got no connections like that." And he just stopped me. Johnny Trigg stopped me. And he looked me right in the face. And hell, he wasn't 8 inches from me. And he said, "Look at me, man." He said, "I'm going to tell you, man." He said, "You got a great personality, Mo. I think you'd be great for the show, man." And I was like, "All right, man." When I get home, I'll look onto it and and see what I got to do. So I went home after that week in cook off and looked on what the rules are, and it said to send in a 5-minute tape on why you need to be on Barbecue Pitmasters, your submission tape. So I jumped on the back of my trailer. I had my wife come out, and I just kind of did my little 5-minute spitting bars, talking about why they need to have Big Moe Cason off on there. And I sent it in, and it wasn't 2 weeks. It was like a week. I got a response back saying, "We like your personality, blah blah blah. Uh, we like to see if would you like to be a contestant? We like to have you be a contestant on Pitmasters." And I was like, "Bet, hell yeah, I'll go on Pitmasters." And so because I said again, I'm a confident man. I mean, granted, I'm not, I just do what I do, and then it's going to be what's going to be.
Yeah.
So I got on the show. I had to get in my truck, and I had to roll out to Calabasas, California. That is as far as west you can get, baby. You're right there by the ocean. And I did the episode, and I had all these other teams I was competing against, and a couple of them I knew, but I didn't really compete against them because I was mainly at that time I was just cooking in the Midwest, and but I knew that when I was cooking, I was like, I'm just gonna do me, man. That's all I can do. I don't worry about what the other person does. I've never been that kind of person that worries about what you doing, because if I'm worried about what you doing, then I'm not on my game doing what I need to be doing. So I've always been there. I've always had that model, man. I just do my cook, and I do the best I can, and I'm gonna focus on me and executing my steps. So when I start making some of my stuff that I normally would make, I know like the back of my hand. It wasn't like I had to go and do something, create something from some pantry or like that. I had to. They threw whatever they want at you, but they gave you the proteins, and then you just did what you wanted to do, and I did. And fortunately, I won the episode, and I was like, "Word!" And it was moving for me, man. I mean, when I won, I remember walking to the back of my trailer. Nobody was around, and I sat down in the back of my trailer and I cried.
Hey, man.
Because I was thinking about my grandmother, my mom,
Hell yeah, man.
my family, and I was representing my family, man. And there's a picture that was taken of me, and I have that picture. No one else has that picture. It's not on social media, but it's me. And I remember the screen was kind of greasy, from me cooking and stuff like that. But it's me sitting on the back of my trailer, and just humble, man, thankful. And so I had to come back a week later to do the finale. and because I made it to the finals, and I remember I had to drive home. I left my trailer there. They put a big tarp over it, so they didn't let so people could know who was whose trailer that was. Even though people knew, I mean, they could see the blue trailer because I was known for blue trailers. But I drove all the way back out from Des Moines, Iowa, back out to Calabasas, California, to shoot the finale, and I did that. And I cooked the best I could. I thought I should have moved on, but it is what it is. And I remember John Marcus, which was the executive producer of that show, because I was salty. I ain't gonna lie, man. I said I'm a confident man, and I knew I outcooked some couple people. I know I did. I know. But I didn't have the name like they had. So that's when I started got my first sense of TV. Not saying that it was rigged, nothing like that, but I just knew that but it's all subjected to what person thinks.
Sure.
No matter how well you think you cook, it's still subjected to some complete stranger or people who don't know you. You may think you make the best fried ribs in the world, but someone else might try that and say, no, it's not.
Story of my
And you
life.
got and if you're in the position of being a judge, that's what it is. You know what I mean? So, but I didn't make it, and instead of but I had a little class, and I remember John Marcus walking up to me. He says, "Man," the first words out of his mouth was, "Man, you're absolutely beautiful on camera, man." That's his exact words. He said, "I know it doesn't feel good right now." He said, "But you keep your head up." He said, "Man, he said, you're gonna have something. You're gonna be doing some stuff on TV." He said, "I don't, because just your personality." And I said, "Thanks, man. I appreciate that." Even though I'm packing my shit up, I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, thanks, man. I was kind of like that, it's like that, and because nobody don't want to hear that. I want to hear like, yeah, you moving on, man. You gonna go on to the next, you gonna, but that's just what it is. But because I kept my composure and I didn't put no clown shoes on and act stupid. That's one thing about TV, man. You do some stuff like that, you're done. No matter how talented you think you are, I mean, clownery only lasts for so long. And I'm not saying a person like clownery, you know what I mean? I was just very passionate on how I cook. And I just felt like at that time that I cooked better than a couple of other people just by seeing what they were doing and seeing what I have. But that's just what it is. It's all subjective to judges. And it kind of
Mm.
parlays to, like, when I got on Pitmasters. I did that a couple years competing, and then they asked me to come be a guest judge. And then I'm a guest judge, and they're like, "Man, we want you to be the judge with Myron and Tuffy," which was a blessing, man.
Mm-hmm.
And because I know what I'm doing, I have barbecue knowledge, and it's knowledge because I'm a self-taught dude. I wasn't
Mm-hmm.
never up underneath anybody's wing. Nobody sit there coddled me. Nobody told me or gave me any breaks. I know the barbecue game, and I know how people are. They're not gonna do anything for you that's going to give you an advantage over what they have. I mean, that's just what it is. It's just the competitive nature of people, which I understand that. You know, I mean, it's just, and I'm a military dude, Navy dude, so I totally you pull yourself up by your bootstraps and you get with it. And I've always had that mentality, and it's the same thing going when it goes to barbecue. I mean, you got people that got big names and stuff. They're not going. I mean, they're not going to do that. I mean, I'm not saying that they wouldn't, but it's just I understand the game. I've been in the game for a long time, and I understand how people are. And
Mm-hmm.
they just, but when you come up by your own bootstraps, and did nobody open no doors for you, nobody, and you
Mm-hmm.
just got, you're that, I'm that big black freight train going down that track. You ain't derailing this.
That's
I'm
right.
just telling you.
Yeah,
That's how my
that's
mentality was. You
right,
ain't
man.
derailing this, man. I mean, you put logs and sticks on there. I'm crushing all that. I'm keep moving. And so I've always had that mentality. I'm a thankful, humble dude, but you're not gonna, no matter where this goes. But I look at where I started and I look at where I'm now, and it's a complete blessing. And that's because I kept it real.
That's right,
Real
baby.
recognizes real. I'm gonna tell you that straight up, man. Because you could be the most talented people in the world and cook your butt off and win all kinds of grand champion. But when you get in front of that TV dude, and if you dry as a popcorn fart, you can hang it up. I'm gonna tell you that right now, cuz you can be cold as ice, cuz. But ain't nobody gonna be sitting there looking at you on TV. They don't care that you got 15 trophies that are 20 feet tall. They don't care. What are you
Mm-hmm.
doing to me to give me some knowledge? Give me some humor so it keeps me engaged.
Sure.
People, I mean, like real recognizes real. And I know what I'm doing. I know how to cook. I'm not saying that how I cook is the cook for everybody, but I know what Moe Cason is doing. And I think that's good when it comes to TV, because how to keep people engaged is you gotta you gotta showcase people what you're doing, because you can sit there and talk a game, but when they look at your food or look at what you're doing and your food looks raggedy, well, that's gonna show you right there and there. There's people I've cooked against that are well known people, man. But I knew right there, and when you see how they cook, they don't know how to cook. I'm just telling you, they don't know how to cook, and
That's right.
and it shows. It will show.
Mhm.
Or you get people that I call them, no offense, but I used to have a saying back in the day, and Myron would laugh his ass off. We'd be on, but I would say, 4 category trick pony, or 4 category trick award winning Shetland pony, and those are guys that do 4 categories well, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you ask them to make some collard greens or a pot of beans, they look at you like deer in the headlights, because they don't
Yeah.
know. And it takes
No.
that full surround to be able to cook. Or you get them up there, and you get them in a situation to where they have to make a rub, but they use X, Y, and Z off the shelf. That's all they've ever done, because they don't know any better, or they just think this is what works, and that's it. Well, you can go on this TV show and you get thrown a curveball where you have a pantry of raw spices and you got ingredients. Now make a rub, make a sauce.
Right.
They're stuck like Chuck,
That's right, baby.
and you can see it. You can see it because they don't because they're not used to that. And I think you're going to be a well-rounded pit master. Not only do you know how to, you should be able to run a pit, but you should be able to cook. You should be able to cook on all type. I don't care if it's 0 degrees outside. I don't care if it's 104 degrees outside. Okay, I don't care if it's stone cold raining sideways. You should be able to get out there and manage your pit and cook and execute those proteins to perfection. That is a good pit master. That is my opinion. That's how I feel, and I always will feel that way.
Nah, man. Moe Cason got that Black Mamba mentality, man. That's it. That's
You
that
got
Black
you.
Mamba. I
You
like it,
got you,
man.
man.
I
You
like
got
it,
you,
man.
man.
I got to,
I mean,
man.
and like I said, I mean, I've done a lot of cook-offs. So I've done 250 something cook-offs since
Mm-hmm.
2006, and I've cooked at a lot of great cook-offs, man. I've had a great time. But I
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't change a thing, man. I wouldn't change a thing of who I am and what I am. And I've narrowed down to there's just a handful of cook-offs that I want to do. I mean, because
Sure.
I don't need to go cook at Joe Blow's cook-off, because I get emails all the time, still to this day. I don't get as many emails as I used to, but people are like, come on, come to this cook-off, and there's nothing wrong with that. I understand that. But I've got to the point in my life, man, that there's just a handful of cook-offs I want to do, man. Like my number one cook-off that I love, and I always love, will be Memphis Summit World Championship. I mean, I just love the cook-off. I love the people. I love everything about it. There's nothing wrong with American Roll. That's a great cook-off. The Houston Livestock, great cook-off. All these other big cook-offs. They're just a lot of fun, a lot of great. But I've got to the point in my life, man, I just want to cook what I want to cook. I'm
Yeah.
not chasing points. I'm not
Yeah.
in no running for none of that stuff. And I just, if I'm going to fire my pit up, man, it's going to be somewhere where I really want to be.
Well, you paid your dues, man. You earned that position where you can, pick and choose whatever the hell you want to do. So,
Yeah, but even then, even before beginning, I just did it because I love the passion of cooking
yeah.
contest. I do,
Yeah.
and I still have that passion of cooking contest. But I'm just very selective now on what I want to do. If I'm going to
Right.
fire up Wheezy, hook up to my trailer, and I got to roll on out, and
Amen.
it's going to be exactly what I want to
Amen.
do, man. And no matter what happens, win, lose, or draw, I'm going to be where I want to be. Nobody pushes my buttons, tell me, well, you got to do this, you got to do that. I've worked enough in this industry to understand I walk my walk, and I've always been that guy. I'm not cowtowning nobody, and just because somebody's got a sponsorship, whatever. I'm gonna do me. I'm not. I'm just not gonna be that guy that's gonna be having to do this and have to do that, have to do that because someone's giving you some dollars. I've been blessed to be able to do that. Moe Cason barbecue rubs and sauces takes care of that for me. So I ain't
There
got to
you go,
worry
buddy.
about I ain't got to worry about having to shuck and jive for somebody for some stuff. I just know how to do it.
Fair
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah. Nice. So speaking of your rubs and sauces, your pork rub was one of the first bottles that I ever purchased in a store where I was just like, wow, this is actually good. It
It's
makes
bold,
good.
man. My rubs are bold. I
Dude,
I
you're
I,
deep
I I
from
love. Oh yeah, you get people who try my pork rub, and if you never had it, well, the problem is that there's a lot of BS rubs out there. There just is, and there's a lot of good rubs out there. Don't get me wrong, and there's a lot of BS rubs out there. And to each his own. Whatever you like is whatever you like. But every rub that I sell, I've made in my kitchen from ground zero. Every single rub, every single sauce I made in my kitchen, and I've tested it and I proved it on a circuit or just in my backyard cooking for a vending event. So I know what's in my stuff. I know exactly how to make adjustments if I need to go to Georgia or if I need to go out to California. I have all of those recipes in my head or they're in my binder that I've had, and they're all me. And like I said again, not to knock people's rubs because there's a lot of great rubs out there, but there's a whole lot of people put their name and stuff. They don't know nothing about that rub, dude. And just because they can market themselves well, and that's nothing wrong with that. But when I tell you my rubs are my rub, they're my rub, and it's the way I want to. I've never had to reformulate or change the label or do any of that to, you know what I mean, in the sense that reformulate my rubs because they're not doing well or because I need to do. Never did that. My co-packer makes my rub the way I want my rub made. Period. There ain't like I gotta cut corners. Like, well, okay, well, this is what we're gonna use, so this is what we have. So we have to make adjustment. No, no. If you don't have what I need, then you ain't making my rub. And my co-packer here out of Des Moines, Iowa, makes my rubs to the T, to exactly the way I want to. And they'll tell you, they make other people's barbecue rubs and sauces, and it's like, we ain't never had any rubs like yours, Mo. He said, your ingredients and the amount of ingredients you have in your rub is the reason why your stuff is banging. Because, like I said, my pork rub's no punk. There's a lot of punk rubs out there, man. My pork rub ain't no punk.
Baby.
And you gotta learn how to use that rub, man. I mean, some guys showed me a picture back in the day, coating their ribs with, like cake. And I'm like, that ain't gonna work out for you, son. That's not gonna taste good because you're gonna realize real quick. And they're like, "Oh, it's great, I love it." I said, "No, ain't no way in hell you gonna." Because a lot of them punk rubs, you got to put like half the bottle on the rack of ribs just to get any kind of flavor out of there. Well, mine, you don't. You can just put a nice little, what you would call a regular amount of rub dusting on them ribs, and that's gonna be a great flavor. Because just one of my things when I make my rubs, I believe that if you take rub and put it in your mouth from the get go out of the bottle, and if it don't really get your eyes to like kind of wince up a little bit, they ain't a good rub, especially when you're cooking on big meats. When you're cooking fatty cuts like brisket and pork butts and whole hog, those are fatty proteins. And if your rub is non-existent when you taste it out of the bottle, it is going to be definitely non-existent at the end of a cook.
Sure.
Straight up, man.
Oh,
and that's what I call them punk rubs, because a punk rub won't last. You get a rub that's bold, like my pork rub was designed for whole hog, for shoulders, for hams, for raw ham. I mean, for things that are really fatty, and that's what you need. So when you get them to cook, you have a perfect balance of great protein flavor and rub flavor and bark and smoke. But when you have a rub that's weak from the get-go, dude, you can hang it up, son. You'd have to redust that thing multiple times throughout the day just to try to get it to have anything. And so that's why my rubs are the way they are. I mean, like, I pay a little bit more money to have my rubs made. I do. But I don't care, because like when I know what's in I got Himalayan pink sea salt in my stuff. I got real lemon powder in my fish and seafood. I mean, I've got real stuff. And most of the time, the pork packers, they will have some of the stuff on the shelf, but I don't settle. So if my chili powder tastes a certain way, you bring in a chili powder that tastes like what I use.
Right.
I don't sit there and say, well, okay, well, this will be okay. A lot of guys do. Well, that's when you end up getting whack stuff, and the stuff is just okay. You know, I don't have no catchy freaking names, nothing wrong, like, a big booty brown sugar rub. I don't got none of that. You know what I mean? It's
I can see it, baby. Big Moe's Big Booty Barbecue.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, and people got to use all that stuff, when your stuff is like half stepping. But like, I got pork rub, competition rib rub, chicken rub, fish and seafood rub, beef rub. I mean, it's very plain and simple. This is what it is. Now, you can use it on different proteins, but this is what it is.
Yeah.
I ain't got to have no catchy name and all this graphics and all. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. There's people out there that have that kind of stuff. But, and to each his own. There's people that hit my stuff and might not like it. That's fine. But I can honestly say through my sales, from getting on the shelves in 2018, it has nothing but climbed ever since.
Amen.
And that tells a testament of your quality of your product. People know what I say again, real recognizes real. When you get some booty rub and you put it on a piece of brisket or rib and you cook it and it's like, this is whack, you ain't never buying that again. I'm going to just tell you that. You're just not going to. It's good. That bottle's going to be used up or you're going to straight dump it in the garbage.
Oh,
now, I'm not saying that, I mean, like I said, my rub's not for everybody. But what you get, 100%, what you will get, you're going to get Moe Cason.
Absolutely,
no
man.
buts or ifs about it. There ain't no me putting my name to a label. I've had people approach me and be like, I said, "Are you crazy? That's not the way I roll."
Yeah. You get that bourbon approach, man. The best bourbon has the simplest bottles. Whenever I see a bottle of bourbon with the fancy shit and the skull design, I'm like, that bourbon's terrible. But
exactly.
The bourbon with the simple wine bottle, I'm like, that's the one I want to drink.
Yeah.
And I know my bourbon. So, I mean, I understand, man. You're from, I say, Iowa, man. You got I feel like, I'm from Kentucky. So if I had like a bourbon, I would want to be like you would do with your rubs, like I want to be just stand out and, that be the star of the show. But you're from Iowa, man. That's pork country. So, I mean, if you had a whack rub, man, they'd eat you alive, wouldn't they?
Oh, they would. I mean, first of all, like I said again, I've literally seen people that get on the shelf,
right?
Because that's a fancy name. They're going to give them a personal try, and then sooner or later, 2 or 3, 4, 4 or 5 months down the road, because they're gone. Because I'm telling you, man, when it gets down to it, people ain't buying your stuff. If people do not buy your stuff, retailers will get rid of you because they're going to put somebody in there that's going to make money. Because when it gets down to it, buddy, it's all about turning ones into twos.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't about, you having to discount your stuff to get it off the shelf because you're done. You're done. You're done.
Absolutely.
And, I've had back in the day guys walk up to me, man, try my new rub, Mo. And, and you're like, I'm just kind of like, man, really? I really don't want it. But they give me the rub because they're so proud about it, man. But I'm a very honest dude. I'm not going to be mean about it, but I'm going to be very honest with them, man. And you turn the bottle around, the first ingredient or the second ingredient is MSG. You don't know how to make a rub. You just don't. You're taking advantage of MSG, which is nothing wrong with MSG, but when that's your first or second ingredient or third ingredient, you're doing stuff cheap.
Sure.
That means all your really good spices are in the backdrop, and you're trying to capture them with that MSG.
Sure.
And you won't last.
Right.
You will not last. I'm gonna tell you that, man. And if you do, then whatever. Because I haven't tried everybody's rub. Everybody, their mom's got a rub.
Right.
You got a rub popping up every week. Somebody freaking frack from so and so. I got a rub. And that's fine. It's great. I'm the same rub. When I started out, I had my rub. But all I do is walk my walk. That's it. I can't worry about what you got. I don't care how much sales you got. I don't care if y'all sell me. That means absolutely nothing. All I know is that my customers that buy my stuff like my stuff.
Amen, brother.
And I'm there for them.
Amen, brother.
You can tell you make it with love. You can tell. You can tell.
That Moe Cason love, baby. Now, man, that kind of leads me into my next question, man. So, like, basically, some of the conversations like we had at deer camp, some of the PG rated ones. The main thing, you said the main thing that led to your success was, to know your worth and like stick to your guns, because you've had people that's come to you and like that's probably offered you more, lucrative deals than what you've, probably currently have. But like for guys that are barbecue junkies like us, is trying to like make their way into this, oversaturated barbecue rub game, what kind of advice would you give them, going forward to kind of like make their way through?
Man, I can't. It is so important to walk your walk.
Amen.
I cannot stress that enough. There's people that get in the game and you see them in the game and they sell their mama in order to get an opportunity. Those people, they're paper thin. They're straight up paper thin, or they're a photocopy of a photocopy of a photocopy of a photocopy. Okay, I've always wanted to be a genuine dude. And that is my MO. People who know me, who know anything about me, they know I'm all genuine, straight up kind of dude. Walk your walk, man, because you shucking and jiving in order to get this opportunity. You may get that opportunity, but that's not sustainable.
Sure.
you being fake, you being not real, you can't sustain it. In a sense that people are going to see those episodes with you. And once they catch wind of that and know, well, that's not what you. There's people that I've met, you see on TV, and you think, that they are. You hope that they're that way in real life, and you meet them, and then they're completely awesome, completely an ass, or they completely arrogant, and they don't understand. It's not like when I go do a cook off, or I got people to come up and see me. First of all, it's not about me; it's about them. People know me, man. I'll be a member of May, dude, and I'll have a person to come up to me, a family, a wife, a mother, or kids to come up. You don't know where they came from. They could have drove from North Carolina. And they wanted to see their pit master. They like Moe Cason. Believe me, I'm going to take time for every single one of them.
Amen,
every
brother.
single time, every single one of them. You know what I mean? Because I got to look at my face. I got to look at my family in the face, okay? And I'm not going to be sitting there while, when people that arrogant or think that they're too good to talk to me. Wait a minute. You're in the barbecue family friends game, dude. You need to be, accessible to people. People want to ask you questions. They want to chit chat, jog. You know what I mean? I know you can't do everything all the time, but I try to make myself available all the time to people.
Yeah.
Because you don't know it's not about me. It's not about what I want to do. It's about them having a good experience. I want them to go back to their home and like, dude, Moe Cason's a cool cat. He's for real, for real.
Amen.
That means more to me than like, well, man, he's nothing like what I thought he was on TV. He's arrogant. He's, and the people get like that, man. And I said, I have no time for people like that. I just don't.
Oh yeah.
And I've seen it. I've seen it with my own eyes, man. People, I mean, it's sad, and they get within themselves thinking that they're, who are you?
Yeah, stay humble, man. You got to stay humble.
Barbecue. And what makes you think that? First of all, this stuff been going on from humble beginnings. If you understood the culture of barbecue, if you truly understood the humble beginnings of barbecue, of feeding people, feeding your neighborhood, if you understood that, you wouldn't act that way. If you understood it and respected it. I respect the game. I respect the people that came before me. You know what I'm saying? And ancestors and people like that. Small walks of life. So me understanding that and having appreciation of that, believe me, you ain't worry about Moe Cason putting on a facade.
Amen, man.
Fake. I'm telling you,
yes,
man.
sir.
That's right, man. Let me say this. Like, I gotta give you your roses, man. Like, I drove up to the Missouri Indoor Comp, man, to see my boy Mo and Big Bobby T. Man, they said they're that close. I gotta go say howdy. But man, Mo, he's one of the big guys there. Him and some other big pit masters are at the contest, and there's I've seen people come up to some other pit masters. I'm not saying any names or anything, and they kind of they say, "Oh, how you doing?" Yeah, or they just head out early or something like that. Man, Big Mo, I tell you, man, he could be in the middle of a business meeting or talking or texting somebody, and somebody come up there. You can see sometimes they're a little shy. They're like, "Hey, Mr. Cason, I love you." And Mo's always the first one is like, "Hey, man, you want to take a picture? Come on." He's all about the icebreaker, and he's all about the fans, and I think that's what people have really see you, and they're really attached to you, and they're like, "Man, that's my dog." You know what I mean? And that's part of the reason I love you, big dog, because I mean that's like I said, man, I'm not about the bullshit, and I know you're not either. So I think that's why we kind of clicked.
I mean, you gotta be humble, man. I mean, I understand why people who think they get into this game and they think they're bigger than the game. You ain't bigger than the game. You think you are, but you're not.
Right.
Okay. Be thankful that you got somebody walking up who likes you or likes what you're doing. Spend time, take a couple of minutes to talk with them, man. You take a picture, hug them, whatever, man. Get some dap. You know what I mean? Just, these people
that can make their year,
Yeah, that you might made their week or their day, or they just,
amen, man.
You know what I mean? And that means a lot to me, man. It really does. And I think that's another reason why that I keep progressing, is because even though I'm just Mo, man, and
right, man.
I don't try to act like I'm anything but just Moe, man. That's it.
That's right. Sir. Heck yeah, man. So you've been on a bunch of shows, including Barbecue Pitmaster, had your own show on National Geographic, and been to some pretty amazing locations. So what would be one that stood out as the best location, and maybe one of your least favorite locations that you cooked at?
Well, when I did the Nat Geo stuff, only did 4 episodes. So first of all, I'm a palm tree tropical brother, even though I'm from like Iowa, which is cold, but we have beautiful seasons. You know, we have spring, summer, and fall. But
Anchor down, Chris.
visually, the Bahamas.
Man.
But in depth, as far as making me feel good, Colombia,
Carolina,
not Bogota,
Bogota.
but Colombia. When I was there, that was really cool, man, to be down in the lowlands, which is the farmland, and hanging out with the llaneros, which are the Colombian original cowboys. I mean, they don't wear shoes. They wear their bare feet. They have machetes that they carry on the side, and they're basically living off the land. They have a bunch of Brahma cattle they push on the range, and they just go to out in the ground and they feed wildly, and they just kind of have these cattle, and that's it, dude. And it's just it was a beautiful experience, man, to be able to experience that, man. And not only being in boats where there's shitload of piranha and caiman and shit that I'm not
Sweat
used to
your ass
seeing.
off.
Right.
Oh, dude, cause I mean like flat out, like for real, for real.
Stay in the
But
boat, baby.
it's not like what you think. Piranha actually don't really.
Yeah.
They
They're not
don't
killing
attack when you're in big bodies
Right.
of water. I mean, they when you see those shows is when they're in a little creek and they're kind of trapped, and
Yeah.
I mean, granted they ain't no joke, because I was catching them with just raw pieces of beef, but it
With that
was
Moe
it was
Cason rub on
no, it didn't have no Moe Cason rub.
it.
And then had a hook and a strip of beef on there, man. And these things, that's what you catch them on, dude. It wasn't like
That big
no
boot.
no minnows. I mean, and they eat other fish and everything, but man, it was. I'm gonna tell you something, dude. The thing I learned, one of the many things I learned by doing the show, is that I ate some food that I wouldn't even think that would be good. But I'm gonna tell you, son, and I love eating fish. I love catching fish, freshwater,
Mhm.
saltwater. But some of the best freshwater fish I've ever had in my life is red belly piranha.
Oh man.
Oh,
That fish is fire. Naturally super flavorful. And I mean, all we did was do some flake salt on them, dude. And I'm gonna tell you, dude, I was blown away by how flavorful red belly prawn. I mean, better than perch, better than walleye.
oh,
I
better than
mean, better
walleye.
than, oh my god, yeah, dude. I mean, and I love me
Oh,
some walleye.
I mean, I
And
can try this shit,
it was
man.
the flesh of the piranha was so white and
Uh-huh.
so flaky and so naturally sweet with just flake salt on there. That was it.
Yeah,
Blew
yeah.
me away. So that's something that you constantly learning. I'm constantly, eating things and learning things, and that just makes you a more rounded, well, human being as you walk this globe.
Yes,
Did
sir.
did they do like make you shore lunches or something? The
Well, we
guy,
did that. We didn't make a short lunch, but what happened was on the show, I wanted to incorporate maybe piranha because that's one of the main
right? Yeah.
typical fish that you're going to find there in them little streams and moats and lakes and stuff like that. And so we caught some and we just, I just made if you seen the episode, I mean, I gutted them, scaled them, gutted them, had some vine that they had, grown in the trees, have a little twig, split them, put them in there, man, scored the sides of the piranha, and just put it over direct we built a little fire, and I just had a little bit of flake salt on there. And dude, I was, if you seen my face when I ate that piranha, and I was like, holy smokes. And I can't tell you how many tons of pounds of walleye and crappie and
Better than Funyuns and Diet Coke, baby.
dude, you damn right. I don't know about that.
Yeah, you damn right.
Because you know me about my 20s and
I
Diet
got
Coke.
you, baby. I got you.
You know that.
Heck yeah. So man, you got a cookbook coming out, and we just want to know how did they come about, and what should we expect to see in this cookbook?
Well, Nat Geo reached out to me. I had a book offer from another company out of Chicago, and I had never had a cookbook before. Everybody and their mom, they get a cookbook, and I kind of did it the right way. I waited to put some time in. I've been in the game a long time. Some guys will get in there, get a little success, get on TV, and immediately have a cookbook, which is fine. but I wasn't gonna go. I mean, I got an opportunity. It was like a year before Nat Geo approached me, but I didn't know. You know, my buddies and like tough new guys of mine, they got books and stuff, but I never had nobody offer me a book.
Mm-hmm.
So these guys did, and then I was kind of like, I didn't really know. So I called a few people, and it was like probably typical what a lot of those people get, but I didn't do it. Something told me, said, man, don't do it, man. Don't do it. Because it looked like you're going to be doing all the work, and they're going to reap the benefits of it.
Mm-hmm.
So after I did the show, after I shot it, the Nat Geo book department reached out to me and said, hey, do you have a cookbook? And I said, no, I don't. We would love to do your cookbook. And I was like, what? Nat Geo?
Yeah.
I mean, that's like,
That's
yeah,
like
I mean, that ain't like,
huge.
freaking frack, that's like big time, to
Oh
have
yeah.
Nat Geo, because they're picture heavy, and their pictures are like banging, and I mean,
yeah, for sure.
and when they put books together, they're pros. They're pros. They do Gordon Ramsay, but they do a lot of people's books. They have beautiful, beautiful cookbooks. So, and when they came to me and then gave me the deal, that deal was so solid that I couldn't even counter it. I'm just like, dude, bet. Done.
Yeah. Sign. Ready to
Done.
go.
And I get a
Done
piece
deal.
of everything, man. I get a piece of everything, man, and then I get the and they're putting Nat Geo's putting the book together for me, and it's all me. All those are my family's. I got my daughters involved in this. I got my wife involved in it, and it's a beautiful cookbook. So it's a cookbook that's a barbecue book, but it's a family cookbook, and I think people are going to really dig it. You're going to see the pictures and the stories in there. It tells a story of who I am. So people who don't know who I am, it gives more of an intimate picture of my family and how much I care about my wife and my kids,
Man, brother.
and these are all recipes. Like each of my girls put in recipes. Even my little one. I mean, she likes grilled cheese, so it was a smoked
There you
grilled
go,
cheese.
baby.
You know what I mean?
There you go.
And that to me, and that's something that will go on forever. That book
That's
will
right, man.
be now. It's in the ether, man. It's there.
Yes,
And
sir.
matter of fact, I had a Zoom call today with them, man, and they're just super excited, and I just think it's gonna really it's gonna be a great coffee book table book. People are gonna look at it and they're like, the pictures are gonna be great. Jody Horton was the photographer, so they sent me like 4 photographers to look at. And I looked at each one of their website and their bio and who they are. And the who I settled on was Jody. Jody cooked. I liked his barbecue pictures that he shot and on his past projects. And he was out of Austin, dude, cool dude. So he came up one time in my house and we shot. And then I went down to his studio down in Austin and shot. And he just did a great job. I'm really happy with the cookbook. It just people are they're gonna get a sense of who Moe Cason is and get a piece of Moe Cason.
Well,
That's
man, I can't
respect,
wait.
man, for sure.
I wanna go day one. You got to text me when it releases, man. That's gonna be my Christmas present to all my boys this year.
Yeah,
Hey,
man,
Jay,
it's
you
gonna
and
be
Justin,
good.
y'all getting some Moe Cason cookbooks this year.
Oh yeah. I'm talking
I got
about
I'll use it. I'll put it to use.
Yeah, and like there's a lot of great tips, and there's a lot of great cookbooks out there. Don't get me wrong.
yeah, man.
This is my first
Oh yeah.
cookbook, and so with mine is not mine's barbecue, but there's also like other recipes in there. You know what I mean? Like my wife was half Meskwaki Indian, so there's some Indian dishes in there that her family grew up on. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
man, you're part of the barbecue family, man. So we're all about supporting that. So
yes,
Yeah,
sir.
man.
Absolutely.
Word.
So I saw where you were asked to do a live fire festival in Abu Dhabi with Steve Harvey. What kind of things are you going to be cooking, and how did that relationship come about?
Well, I've known Steve I did his show, the one he had in Chicago, I don't know, 5, 6 years ago, probably longer than that. And I did such a great job on the show. He never forgot me. And
made them collard greens.
I don't know what I made on the show. On this show,
You
I
made
made
collard. I remember collard greens. I remember Steve. I watched that episode. I remember Steve Harvey's like, "That's what I'm talking about. I'm from the South, and these are greens right here, man." It's
okay. I can't remember greens or mac and cheese. I can't. It was mac
yeah,
and cheese. It wasn't greens. It was mac and cheese.
yeah.
Oh, was it greens too? Yeah, okay, probably was green too. I can't remember. Hell, man. I think it's got some millions of views, whatever now. But he never. I mean, he always kept touch with me. He had my number. He gave me his personal cell number, but he knew when I met him for the first time. I'm not starstruck by anybody. I'm just not. So he reminds me of one of my uncles. So my grandma had 17 kids, and so he's just kind of like one of my uncles. So when I talked to him, he knew right then and there. I'm not shy. I'm not, no, man. What's up, man? How you doing? We give dap, and he was like, dude, my man Moe. So we become cool. So he called me like last February. Said, hey man, he's got a place over in Abu Dhabi, and he was like, that's like the billionaires playground, whatever you want to call it. And he goes, man, I want to put together a barbecue festival over here, man. And he said, I want you to be my main man, like my first man, my main guy I want to bring. And I said, all right, cool. So he told me that was in February, Then he called again like midsummer. It's like, it's gonna happen, man. It's gonna happen, Mo. And then he called me right at the end of summer and he was like, man, it's gonna happen. He said, man, you just tell me what you want. Tell me what you want, what you gotta have, Mo. Because he knows I'm no slow leak. I know my self-worth. You know what I mean? I know, I don't care who I'm talking to. I don't care if it's him or anybody else. I know my self-worth. So he had me, I put pen and paper to what the ask for me were, and I gave him that number. And it wasn't no punk number. And he said, bet, done. So, I'm going to do a couple grilling demos.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing a couple master classes. And I'm judging a multiple barbecue contests. It'll be steak, chicken, some other stuff. Because there's another one that's like mystery box. So I'm judging that. I helped him organize the judging contest. And, that was some of the work they wanted from me on my Zoom calls with them, help them organize that, get that doing. And we're just going to follow like KCBS rules and on judging and how to do that. Melissa Cook's coming over. She's doing a demo. Stephen Reichl's coming over to do a demo. But, the first person they announced was me. And
That's
I'm
right.
the one doing a lot of the stuff that they needed help with. So, that's just another opportunity, man. I get over there, man, and rub elbows with, some of these people. Who knows? You might have a Moe Cason barbecue over there.
Hell, man, some of those guys over there, they may like your shit so much, they'll give you a Lambo. They'll be like, here you go, man. Here you go. Have a Lambo.
So, yeah. So, it's going to be cool, man. To be able to bring my rubs over there and sauces so they can eat. And what it is they want a sample. Steve understands what good barbecue because he's from the South.
Yeah.
He understands. And so he's eating barbecue over there. There's people over there, barbecue smokers and restaurants. And it wasn't hitting. He said there's one of his little videos. He just said, dude, he's like, it's okay, but I know what good barbecue is, man. And that's what he told him. And he goes, I'm gonna bring some people over here that know barbecue.
Right.
And so it's gonna be cool. So it's gonna be held at the F1 track, Yas Marinas, and it's gonna be fun, man. I'm looking forward to it.
Bobby, tell me about
that
excursion y'all gonna go on, man.
Huh?
Bobby, tell me about that cool excursion y'all going on. I better get some pics in that group chat.
Oh yeah, man. The first when we get there, the next day we go on. They take us out to the desert
Hell yeah, man. That's cool.
Watch the sunrise come up and we'll be on camels. That's gonna be badass. Eating breakfast, traditional on the camels. Oh yeah, I'm gonna get all kinds of social media on that. That's gonna
you'd be like Prince Aaliyah up there, man. If I got
yeah, you're right, man. I'm gonna watch camels spit on Bob. It's gonna be awesome. and then after that, we're gonna go to the F1 track.
Oh,
and we get to drive F1 cars.
Oh snap! They're not Mopars, Mo. You be all right with that?
Well, there's two cars they have. If I get to sit my ass in one of them F1 cars, they got the DB8. What's the James Bond card? What is that? Aston Martin DB8s. And they're like race cars, so they got numbers on them like that, So I'm like, dude, if I got a choice between the F1 car and the DB8, so give me the DB8.
Give me that James Bond, man. You gotta get that bomb.
Oh yeah, you believe me, man. I bought one of those DJI things like you got. Oh, it'll be in full use when I get over
Hell
there.
yeah, baby. Yeah, man.
Heck yeah. So man, we got talked earlier how you kind of stepped back from competition, but you always seem to find yourself going back to Memphis in May. So what about that contest just keeps bringing you back year after year?
The people, and the historic nature of Memphis and May. There's a lot of great cook-offs that have been around for a long time. I just like Memphis and May. I just like the people. I love the structure on how the cook-off is, because not only do you have a 9x9 clam show you got to turn in, but you also have 3 on-site judges that come to your area, and that sets it apart from every other cook-off. Because most cook-offs, KCBS, IBCA, nothing wrong with that. Is they have whatever categories they have, you put it in a clamshell box and you walk up to the judge and you walk away. Well, you got to do that in Memphis and May, but then you also have 3 judges come in 15-minute intervals, and they come and you got to do your dog and pony show. You got, and then that, I think that to me is just next level stuff, because not only do you might have a bomb turn-in box, which is fire, but that's not the only points that are being calculated in your overall score. You have those 3 judges, and those judges are trained or instructed. They can only give 110. So a judge will see 3 teams, each judge, and they can only give 110 out. They can't give 2 tens out, 3 10. They can only give 110 out. So you want that judge that's going to see you between the 3 people that judge is going to see, 3 teams. You want that judge to give you their 10, because that 10 is where it's at. 9.5 ain't gonna cut it.
You got that gold.
9.3 is not gonna cut it. It's just what it won't.
Need a
And that's
10.
how fine that. I cooked that cook-off for 7 years, and I've walked the stage, but that's from like 4th or 5th or whatever the hell it was, 5th or 6th or it was, and then I got a 7th one time, I got a 9th. So I got a top 10 call like 3 times, but that means that's cool and great and everything. But what you want to make is you want to make finals. That's the top 3.
Yes,
The
sir.
top 3 in each category, and then it all resets, and you got to start all over again. And that's when you have 4 judges come at one time, and so that would determine your grand champion and your reserve champion, because you get a reset. So it's only one category that's going to win the whole thing, obviously. So you either pick shoulder, or you take ribs, or you take pork, whole hog. So you can only cook one of those categories for Memphis and May. So I always cook shoulder, because that's what I want to win first. I want to win first place shoulder. I got 3rd last year, which I'm getting closer. Now I want the first place, and then I want to win the whole thing. And so I just that to me is one of the many elements of why I like Memphis and May. I love the
Yeah.
ambiance. I love the people. I love seeing teams I haven't seen all year long. And I just love the South, man. I just really do. I love Southern cook-offs. I've always been a big fond fan of Southern cook-offs. Just the people, just in general, Southern people at cook-offs are a lot more fun.
Hey, cheers. I'll
I'm
cheers to
just
that.
saying.
I'll cheers to that.
I mean, they just are, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just what it is, man. It's just people from the South, man. They have a good time. I'm not saying you can have a good time up north. Don't get me wrong, but from my experience at all the cook-offs I've done, I've always had a better time cooking down south.
Amen, brother.
South, where is it?
Mm-hmm.
So, if you could, speaking of Memphis and May, if you could handpick your dream Memphis and May team, who would it be?
Ooh.
Moe Cason. What are you talking about?
To help you.
You
I got
need
everybody.
more than about face, huh?
Nope. Everybody's on my team is my family.
Fair enough.
I got a homeboy that comes out of New Zealand. I've got a couple that comes out of Oregon, and the rest of my squad is all from Pensacola, Florida. And I learned over the years, man, to get people that understand what you're trying to achieve, and there ain't no half stepping. I've had people want to be on your team, but they just want to get a wristband so they can get into to the park, and then all of a sudden they do a little bit of work and then they ghost on you. I said no. So everybody that's on my team, I've had people every year. People have, I'll come cook, I'll do wash dishes. No, thank you. I got everybody that I want. Everybody I want is I ain't got to say nothing. They know exactly what they need to do. And it's all hands on deck. And when all hands on deck, it gets everything done, get all the shit done. Then we can go and sit down and walk around, mingle, and all that kind of stuff. But I ain't got to say nothing. They know exactly what the Moe Cason team has to do. And that's what I love about it. I mean, I that's one of those things you just learn real quick. I'm a quick learner. You know, you get people who want to come cook on your team, and they want to be a pair of hands, and then all of a sudden, you know, you might see them the first day, and then you know they got their wristband now, so now they're good. Now then they ghost on you. Nope. Don't waste your time with me, man. Just everybody who's on my team's on my team. Period.
See, I had a standing offer of Mo, man. I said I'll be the beer bitch, man. Either Robert Kennedy.
No, like if you come, there's a difference of coming down and hanging out, and there's a difference of coming out and being on the team.
No, I know what
You
you
know what
mean,
I'm saying?
man.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I just have people that the guys that are on my team, they know exactly what needs to be done. There's no.
Yeah, I totally understand, man. You got sous chefs, man. The only thing they need to say is yes, chef.
Well, you don't do all that, but you know
I know what you mean, man. I know what you mean.
You know what I mean, man. We know we're a well-oiled machine.
Amen, brother.
We're on the precipice to win the whole thing.
That's why you got that third last year, man. Now next year you get that first.
Yep.
Speaking of third, you know, how many shoulders that you have to cook in order to, you know, get the best product to put out for the judges?
Well, everybody has a different way of doing things. For me, I cook 9 shoulders because what it is you have blind box, and I'll cook 2 or 3 shoulders just to get just enough meat to put in a clamshell. So you're cooking 60 pounds raw because these shoulders are 20 pounds. Right. And so you lose half of it during cooking and rendering. So I'm cooking 2 to 3 shoulders just to get the best pieces off for the blind box, because cooks pit mash, especially down south, especially in Memphis and May, because it's all pork, and them people know how to. Them boys down there and boys and girls down there know how to cook. You don't just put anything in the box. It takes me. Even when I cook KCBS or any other sanctioning body, pork is my hardest category because I'm by myself generally. So it takes, when I get done with ribs and then I got to get into pork butt, it takes me time because I'm cooking multiple butts. I've got to slice money muscle for like KCBS type things. I've got to break down butts. Well, when I do Memphis and May, I have another buddy of mine from Oregon that helps me break down the shoulders. He understands me. He knows what I want. He's a really good pit master himself. So he knows, and I can sit there and look between me and him as we're breaking down these shoulders. I know he's grabbing the right pieces and know how to handle it. And so that's a good thing, to have someone that's experienced like that does that knows exactly the right pieces. And then I go back over and I finite those pieces to even more to what's suitable to put in the box.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got one shoulder for each judge. You do not want to take a shoulder and feed 2 judges off of one shoulder. You know what you mean? So, first 3 judges come at one at a time, each judge gets a fresh shoulder. Okay? So it's a whole dog and pony show you do all over again for each judge. And then if you're fortunate enough to make finals, you'll have 4 judges that come at the same time. And that's when you can have that last shoulder and they can parse that off of that, because the worst that you can do is 3rd place. So you're already in the money.
That'll do.
You just have to be able to execute to try to get that 1st place.
Right.
Ensemble for sure.
Man, we've seen on social media like the cool grills you got. I mean, you got some badass grills. I always get a little jealous of like that. The M&M grill you got with that you got in memory of the battleship you were on, or was it? Man, that's cool.
My M&M 1000.
Yeah, that's right, baby. But no, man, those grills are. I used to be an Old Hickory fan, but I saw once I started seeing you and Bob and all them, man, those things are sick.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I used to be Old Hickory for years. I mean, when I first started out, I had Old Hickory competing, but nothing to knock Old Hickory, but it just I found a better pit. I mean, the way I cook, the way I want to cook, M&M checks all the boxes.
Amen.
It's just check. There's no propane. The smoke and the flavor it puts onto the meat, the color. To me, it's the best pit on the market, hands down. Hands down, there is no other pit out there that touches M&M, in my opinion.
So, whenever if you had to pick one, because I know you got probably what, like 30 grills. Like, would you pick the Battleship M&M, or which one's your favorite grill that you have? I mean, that's probably like picking your favorite.
I got a lot of different grills, and all depends on what I want to do. But as far as producing the volume and repeatability and consistency, it's my M&M.
Amen.
Now, I've got monolith grills, which are ceramic type Kamado style grills on my back deck. I love cooking on. I can just fire those up. Like I'm going to do that tomorrow and make pork steaks for the family. And that's a little handy deal. I've got some GMG grills on the back deck, and those are handy for what. And what's nice about that is my daughters wanted to cook something if I wasn't around, they could fire that up really easy and cook. It's not that, I'm not asking them to fire up, even though my M&M is easy as peasy to fire up. They're not going to go out to my M&M 1000 and fire it up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. They're just not going to do that. So they can go fire stuff up on the back deck if they want. So, and then I love my Gateway drum cans. I think it puts great flavor, and I love cooking stuff directly over coals like that. So it all depends on what I'm doing and what I like and how I'm achieve. That's what I like doing. Like when I do my pork steaks, I mean, I can go out and fire them up and put them on the smoker, but I like my pork steaks cooked over a low fire, kind of like a can. I like put them on a can or put them on a grill or on like my Kamado without any place setter, without anything like any buffer, with a small fire, and I'll cook those pork steaks for like 2 hours, and they're fire, and they have that great flame kiss because you can only get that cooking over fire.
I got you, man. Another fun topic. I know it's a tradition of yours that whenever you travel to a new country, new place, you get a new tattoo. Have you got kind of an idea what you're going to do for Abu Dhabi?
I've been starting to think about it.
It's coming up, man.
It might be I haven't decided yet. I know the word Abu Dhabi in Arabic is pretty sweet. I like how it looks. I might do that. It might be a palm tree with the word Abu Dhabi underneath it. It might be I'll see what kind of animals. Maybe it's a griffin, maybe it's a kestrel or something like that, a bird. Or I have to see what's cool.
Yeah, man.
Put on my body from Abu Dhabi.
Fair enough, man. Well, Mo, man, we're at the point of the show where it's my favorite part of the show. It's the Brothers Cube Barbecue Supply lightning round. We're gonna ask you just a quick questions. Give me a quick answer, and don't think too hard on it.
All right.
You ready? Here we go. What would your perfect cigar and drink combo be?
Cohiba and Weller.
Oh, there we go. Fair enough. Weller 12, that bottle I gave you?
Yep.
There you go. Fair enough. If you had to choose between the Chiefs winning the Super Bowl and being on the sidelines, or you winning Memphis in May, what would you choose?
Memphis in May.
Fair enough. What is your favorite meal to cook at the house, not barbecue related?
Chili.
All right. You're thinking hard, man. You're thinking hard. Beef ribs or pork ribs?
Huh?
Beef ribs or pork ribs?
Beef ribs all day long.
Oh man, your beef ribs are sinful. All right, man. I know you're a Mopar, man. So what would you rather have? A 68 GTO or a 69 Superbird?
That's a no-brainer, dude. Superbird.
Superbird. I knew you were going to say Superbird. That's my man. No. Resto Mod or a classic? Ooh.
I'd say Resto Mod if it's done right.
Hey, my man. I want to look pretty, but I want the modern conveniences.
Yeah.
Ice in your bourbon? Yes or no? These are from Bobby T, by the way.
1 cube.
1 cube. All right, fair enough. If you said a bunch of ice, I'd be like, I don't know you, man.
No, 1 cube. One or 2 cubes. Or one of them ice balls.
Fair enough, man. Ski trip in Colorado or tiki bar in the tropics?
tiki bar in the tropics, dude. I ain't built for no skiing. What the hell? I'm gonna look like skiing. Okay?
You skiing the
I'm
slopes,
built for comfort, not speed, dude. What? I'm gonna break my damn neck. Go out there, got to fight the cold. Hell to the no. See, you find my fat butt on the tropic. I'll be doing the Rick Ross, man. Shirt all out, everything hanging out.
I had to ask, man. This is Bobby. Put 3 celery sticks on apple juice or Funyuns in a Coke Zero.
Funyuns in a Coke Zero, boy. What you talking about, boy? Only the ones who know.
Hey, brother, I hear you, man. I hear you. Las Vegas, Nevada, or Lansdale, Pennsylvania?
Lansdale, Pennsylvania.
My man. All right, man. Last question. Who's the better shot, you or Bobby T?
A better what?
The better shot.
Me.
Ah!
No.
We'll talk about
honestly, Bobby is. He's a better shot. I have to give him credit. He is a better shot. He's a better shot than me.
Bobby showed me up last year at Deer Camp when we had that oxygen tank out there we were shooting.
No, Bobby's a good hunter, man. He's got a good eye. He does, man.
Mean streets of Scranton, Pennsylvania, buddy, man. I mean, it's hard life there, man. It's a hard life.
Yeah.
Scrapple and Philly cheese. That's all we got to look forward to.
Yeah.
Well, Mo, man, thank you, brother, so much for coming on this episode. It was a very special episode, not only kicking off Black History Month, but this is my birthday episode, man, and I couldn't think of another person in the world that I would want to be on this episode but you. You know, your barbecue family, and you're part of the family in my house as well, man. So I truly appreciate it, man.
Thank you, bro.
I know baby daddy down here, he wanted to say a little something to you.
So yeah, man, I want to thank you for I've never met you obviously, but your presence on TV helped me meet some of the best people I've ever met in my life in this sport. And I just want to thank you. And I'm eternal thankful for that.
Awesome, brother. It's a barbecue family # baby.
That's right, baby, man. That's right, man. Well, Mo, thank you so much for coming on the show. And do you have any updates or anything you want to give a shout out to before you head out, man?
Just you can follow me on social media, Moe Cason on Instagram and Big Moe Cason on Instagram and Facebook, and then I'll be doing a lot. You know, Bob and I got some classes coming up. We got to do in Canada and then
Bob and Mo show,
huh?
I said the Bob and Mo show.
Yep, we'll be doing that, and then we'll be going overseas to cook for the military, and so we're looking for that. So I'm gonna really do a lot more social media, try to do a lot more videos like that, and hopefully we can get a podcast going, maybe hopefully in spring or something like that, and just keep on doing what we're doing.
I can't wait to see it, man. I know it's got some big things coming your way, man. But Mo, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule, man. And it's always a great talk to you, brother.
You too, homie.
All right,
see you, man.
See you, bro.
Man, what a show, dude. I mean, that was awesome. What do you think, Big Daddy? Was that a good little baby gift?
Yeah, it was. It was. I'll say, and I may be a little biased, but that's probably our best episode to date, I believe.
It didn't suck. It didn't suck at all, man. Mo's an awesome dude, and he speaks the truth. And I really enjoyed talking to him as always. But absolutely. Speaking of Mo, man, don't forget, like I said, tonight and tomorrow's the last day to sign up for our big giveaway, man. We got get you a very special Moe Cason barbecue hat along with the other goodies that I listed on the site. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and I'll do, like I said, send that screenshot of the invite you send out, and like I said, it'd be a good little gift for the birthday and kickoff Black History Month episode. AJ, who we got coming up, bud?
We got the chicken champ of 2023. Good googly goo.
Googly goo. Man, I love that.
Stay tuned, man.
I love that team, man. That's
See it, baby. See it.
Nope, wrong one. I want to say thank everybody so much for tuning in tonight. Sorry it was on another night, but it's a special episode, so a special day. Next week we'll be on a regular schedule, Tuesdays at 7. So stay tuned. And as always on this episode, make sure you're always right on cue. And good night. Y'all got anything else?
No, sir.
All good.
Peace.
That's all, folks.